Hi, my name is Derek, and this is the Gateway Log, where I talk about my experiences with Monroe Institute, the Gateway tapes, meditation, really anything woo. It's been a few days since I've updated. I've had a lot of nothing and then a lot of something happen over the last bit. So I want to get into that immediately. So on the last I spoke to you, I had recently seen primitive drawings in a tunnel or coming out of a portal that look like primitive alien drawings that I've seen like pictures of in different pyramids, like the Mayan or Aztec pyramids. So on March 9th, I did a Focus 15 and I got nothing. I clicked out. And again, I think it's important to let you know when nothing happens so you don't expect fireworks every time. On March 10th, I did get something. So actually I tried Focus 21, Focus 15, and Focus 12. On Focus 21, I saw what looked like a bunch of steps, like kind of a road and steps leading up into a giant pyramid. It was like a Aztec pyramid. Or what I thought to be an Aztec pyramid. And it was very clear. It was like I was standing in front of it looking at it. And then I started to feel a little bit of electricity pulsing through me again. And then I saw similar drawings like I did before, except it was in monochrome. So it looked like alien drawings. So that pyramid I'm going to show the picture of it here. So a lot of people equate this to be an Aztec or Mayan, but apparently they found it. It was already there when they came along. So, and apparently these line up with Orion's belt. So, again, more things just connecting there. On March 11th, I did a Focus 15 free flow. And, at first there was I saw visuals of swarms and stuff, but nothing really happened. And then I saw what looked like a piece of paper and then a number faded in and it said 985. And then it started to fade out. And I was like, no, focus on that. What is that? And it faded back in again and it said 985 and then it disappeared. Don't know what it was. I still don't have that figured out. Then I saw what looked like a picture of a person who was Xeroxed, and they had like black ink skin and white hair, but they weren't African American. I don't know. It was just that ink. It was like a photocopy, black and white photos. Weird. Then I saw a face kind of looking at me, and it was kind of like a side memory or side vision. When I say that, like usually when I have a vision, it's kind of like behind my eyelids. This one was like it was happening over here, and then I was like, what was that? And then for a moment I remember it, and I'm able to bring it in front of me. I saw what looked like a black-skinned, not a human, but it had cat-looking, like cat slit eyes, and they were bright yellow. I don't know what the hell that was, but it faded out. I wasn't afraid or anything. It was just on March 12th and March 13th. I didn't really get anything. I tried Focus 15 free flows both, but again, work has been getting really stressful, and just we're growing fast, and there's just not enough things in a day. So it's on my mind a lot, which makes meditating a little harder to do because I can't clear my brain. On March 14th, I actually, the night before, I only got about 4 hours sleep because of work. So when I woke up in the morning, I decided to start over the Gateway Voyage online program. So I did the intro to Focus 10. And it was interesting because like I could feel my brain, buzzing. And then I felt electricity pulsing through me a little bit. The only vision I got was it looked like a cornhole table, but it was like on a desk. And it was probably the size of my hand, and it had like strawberry jelly on it. Don't tell me. If you have an idea, please. And then later in the evening, or later in the afternoon, I took my kid out, for our daddy-daughter date. And we went to like Topgolf and, the nice thing about that is we both could play and we can both win. And then we went to Books A Million. And while I was there, I was looking for a Lego Pyramid of Giza because I saw it at Target recently. And because of all my Orion's belt and pyramid visions, I was like, oh, that would be kind of cool. It wasn't there, but as I turned the corner, I got to the mindfulness area where they have like tarot cards, witch books, spell, witchcraft, spells, all that stuff. And I see this deck and my third eye goes nuts. It's like, I see it. It's like an Egyptian deck. And I'm like, oh my gosh, it's like pushing hard. And I'm like, okay. And I kind of walk away from it and the feeling subsides. Then I turn back and look at it again, and then it really goes nuts. And so here it is. I picked it up, and it's Egyptian Star Oracle cards. And I looked at it, and I decided to message my friend out in California who's into the woo stuff. She's the one that kind of got me into this. And I was like, I think my third eye is now learning how to tell me to do something, kind of like my gut feeling. And she's like, why would you say that? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like looking at this deck and I think I should get it because of my Egyptian visions. I sent her the picture. She sent me a picture back and she was freaking out because she had the exact same deck on her table. She had it opened and she was in the middle of doing a reading for me. And she was going to throw the deck away because she never used it, but decided to use it today because of my visions on Egyptian stuff. Really weird. And so I was like, okay, I'm buying it. So I bought it. I shared it with, there's another TikToker who shares her journeys and stuff. And I kind of let her know about this. And she's like, okay, I have a feeling you're going to get a message with this deck. You need to go home and use it. So I get home, I open it up, you know, I knock it 3 times and just kind of ask my spirit guides or whoever, like, what message do you want me to know? And so I shuffle it very slowly. And then the pineal gland, third eye, starts going nuts when I grab this one card. So I lift it up and it's the sadness and melancholy card. And I'm like, all right, what does this mean? What am I supposed to do with this? And, you know, I was kind of, the girl who was trying to help me, she was like, well, you should get some kind of message. For whatever reason, I don't get messages that way. It's always feelings. And all of a sudden, my third eye started going nuts again. And I was like, all right. So I went through and grabbed a couple of more cards. And I got it written down so I don't forget what it was. So I pulled the Resurrection card after the Melancholy and Sadness card, as well as the New Beginnings and Jubilation card. And I was like, all right, what does that mean? And then my forehead got more pressure. And I was like, okay. So I'll mix the cards up. I put those cards back in there and I pulled 3 more and I got Healing, Salvation, and Leadership card. It started to remind me of work because I've been stressed out in a way I haven't been at my current job. Just because a lot's going on, but like I kind of read it thinking about that. I've got some healing and stuff that's going to happen, and it's going to be okay. But then I started to get a little emotional. It was weird. I started tearing up in my eye, and I'm like, what is this? What am I supposed to know? I'm just really bad at reading signs. And then I pulled 3 more cards, and I got Journey Through Life, Love and Romance, and Creation and Artistry cards. And then the pressure was crazy heavy right there, and so I wrote it down. I was like, okay, I'll kind of sit on this. Later in the evening, I do a meditation to kind of open my chakras and expand my power. And then it started getting really buzzy again. I was like, okay, what do you want me to know? So I mix up the cards and I pull it, and it's again the New Beginning and Jubilation card. I was like, all right, I'll stick with that. I tried doing the Gateway Voyage Online Focus 10, and I got to the where you create your energy conversion box, and I was putting stuff in it mentally. And when I went to close the lid in my mind's eye, I heard a heavy chest slam shut. And I was like, what was that? There's nothing in my room quite like that. So it caught me off guard a little bit, but then I clicked out and I was out for that. So very, very crazy. This morning I woke up and I was like, okay, is there any messages or anything? No third eye buzz whatsoever. I went over to the deck, no buzz. And then I started to ask myself, I wonder, is my third eye not going crazy because I got the message I was supposed to get yesterday? And then my third eye started buzz, 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 and then it stopped. And I was like, okay, I guess that's that now. It's like my conscience or whatever is just sitting right there like, okay, if you're not going to listen to your gut, we'll punch you in the head. So that's where I'm at right now. It's been a crazy week. I'm excited to continue doing the Gateway Voyage Online program. Again, just kind of cycling through it again. But let me know if you have any experiences with the third eye. I'd love to know it. I know this is a long video, but again, I'm not here to convince you of anything. These are just my experiences. Crazy experiences, but my experiences nonetheless. With that, my name is Derek. This is the Gateway Log, and I'll see you on the next one.